Hey there folks, welcome back to the Green Vlog. Today is well, it's still the 26th of September, yeah, but I'm doing a complete follow-on from yesterday's vlog, so it's the 27th of September when this goes up. But I am going to be vodka. I'm going to be carrying on with the JRPG talk that we had yesterday, and that'll be see some more games. We'll see some more games and see how it goes. Next game I want to talk about, see, completely following on, Breath of Fire. I haven't got any other games. Actually, I might have the Game Boy Advance version of the first game, but anyway, I can't find it if I have. Breath of Fire. This is a series that sort of goes over my head. I know a lot of people love it, and it does have a lot of the classic JRPG tropes, but it's not a series that I can really get behind. Breath of Fire 1 I quite liked, until it stopped being quite so linear, and then it lost me because I got confused. I found the game really hard. Maybe I didn't level enough when I was a little midget, but I don't know. It's something that I did that lost me. Then Breath of Fire 2, HC Bailey right now is starting a Let's Play of it, and I'm hoping he can get me on board with it because he's really good at doing RPG Let's Plays, and he has convinced me before in the past that one or two games were a lot better than when I started playing them, and I went back to them to try and play them and I liked them a bit more. Maybe because he told me he's got all these facts and stuff about games that he's researched, and it helps me to understand where the game designers and developers were coming from. It just makes things a bit more interesting, I think. So I'll watch the Let's Play, maybe get back to it, but when I tried to play it before, I was not fussed. Breath of Fire 3. Again, I tried to play it on the PSP version, but it's just so huge. And this is one part where you're wandering through a desert for like 500 hours, and it's just literally walking and walking until you make it to the end. And it does go on forever. It does go on for an hour or more. I think it's called the Desert of Despair, but I might be mixing it up with Alundra. But it's so dull, that part. So dull. I couldn't carry on with the game from that point. Then I watched a Let's Play from White Mage Saranya, who does RPGs, as well as, I think he does one or two other things, but I only ever watched his RPGs. And it didn't convince me it was any good. Not because of his style or anything, but just because the game, it doesn't feel that amazing to me. And a lot of people love it. They say it's their favourite Breath of Fire. But I just can't get into it. Then Breath of Fire 4. This is a bit more interesting to me. When I was little, I had the PS1 version. I think I rented it. I didn't own it. I think I rented it or had it off a mate. And I loved it at the time. I thought it was amazing. But I bought it on the PSN store not too long ago. Maybe about half a year to a year ago. And I thought it was just okay. I couldn't get behind it again. I don't know what it is with that series, but it doesn't grip me at all. And I can't really explain why. And then everyone can agree, the 5th game came out. What's it called? I don't know. It was for PS2, but it's one where you start the game and then restart it and then restart it if you die. And I just, no, that's not what you have for RPGs. No. And I haven't tried it, but just hearing about it, I don't think I would like it, and I don't want to risk paying money out when it could be so bad. And I've heard bad things, so maybe if it comes out to the PS4 store as a remaster or something, I'll try it. But I can't see them doing that. I can't see a game that got such big backlash coming onto the PS4 store as a remaster. Maybe it will, you never know. Anyways, that's Breath of Fire for you. Something that I'm not that into, but so many other people seem to be, and that's fine. Other people can like whatever they like, but I don't know, didn't click for me. Yeah. Next up we have got Grandia. This is a game I never got into back on the PS1. I actually got it first on This is actually the version I got first, an exclusive, but I bought it when I had my PS3 in the PS3 era. it's got such charm. The first game has got such charm, and the voice acting's really bad, but that adds to it, sort of in the way that Resident Evil 1's voice acting's really bad, the original, but that really adds to the game. And the battle system's incredible. It's something very innovative, very creative. It's standard turn-based, but the characters run around on their own, depending on what attack you choose. You don't move them, they move around on their own. And you have this little bar going across, and if you hit an enemy with like a certain type of attack, when they're about to use their attack, then it cancels their attack out and you can get another character to get moving while waiting. And you just have to think on your feet a bit with it. It's very reactive, and I loved the first game so much. Can I remember much of it? Not really, not past the first couple of hours, which is why it's fun to go back and play it again, which I think I'll have to sometime soon, because I really did love it. I remember loving it so much. It's got that, it does that thing with JRPGs where your party just constantly switches characters in and out. Some might die, some might just leave you, some might never come back. And I love that in RPGs. That's why I really like Final Fantasy 9 at the start. They just come and go whenever they please, the party members, and you get to use everyone. I like it when RPGs do that, and Grandia does it a lot. And I can't... It's got so much humour. It's got so much cheese, which JRPGs are meant to have. And it's just... I don't know, it's really fun. I recommend it so much. It's on the PS3 PSN store. You can probably find it cheap enough on eBay, but I'm not sure, I haven't looked into it. Anyways, then there's Grandia 2. I've played Grandia 2 as well. I didn't think it was quite as good. It's gone 3D instead of the old PS1 2D small little character mode type thing. And with Grandia 2 we went into proper 3D like PS2 graphics, and it's good. It still has the amazing battle system that the first one had, only cleaned up a bit, if anything, if nothing else. But I can't... It wasn't quite as good as the first one, to me, in terms of story and everything. But having said that, I still loved playing through it and everything, so it's not bad. It's not a bad game. But I do prefer the first one. If I'm going to play one of them, it'll be the first one. Then there's Grandia 3, which I've never played. I don't think it ever came out over here. I might be wrong, but I never saw it anyway. And Grandia X? Extreme? Grandia... I don't know. I never played that either, and I know nothing about that one. So the Grandia series, the first two are so good. Other than that, I've never played any more. I would like to play more, but they've just never come up, you know. I will do one day. One day, when my backlog goes down, and that never happens. So one day. Next up, we have got. Ooh, there we go. Right, this is a game I got memories of. Legend of Dragoon. For a start, this particular version I got off a YouTuber. It's the only thing that I've ever had off anyone, and that makes it pretty special to me. I was so happy when I saw it, because I have never thought of myself as... I'm not a big channel, and I've never thought of myself as being very good. So at this sort of thing, it's a hobby. It's a hobby. So I was very surprised when somebody said that they were going to send me something, and I was very, very happy about it. Legend of Dragoon. The game itself, it's something that... It's an RPG, which is really good. I like the battle system, but I think the story is a bit bland, and I think the dialogue is very bad in terms of grammar and repetition. It repeats itself quite a bit. But it's better than the sum of its parts. It's one of those games I just love upgrading my character's skills by using the special attacks a lot. I love finding the little secrets here and there. I don't know, it's such a good game, and I can see why it's such a fan favourite around the RPG community. It's not perfect, that's all I'm saying. It's really good, amazing music, amazing soundtrack, some really nice locations. It's not perfect, but it's really good. Try not to upset anyone, because these sorts of videos do upset people. Opinion videos. Next up. Okay, a lot of people love this one. Chrono Trigger. DS version, by far better than the SNES version. I've never played the SNES version, but, you know, it's... From what I've seen, this has got the better load times, the better sort of... It's got the dual screen functionality, so you can sort of touchscreen to use in battles if you wanted to, or you can choose to go back to directional buttons, which is what it does well, you know, proper controls, normal controls. Chrono Trigger, it's a time RPG, time-based, in the sense of the story. In other words, you go back and forth through time, go to different locations. I've only ever played through the game once, and I'm pretty sure I got one of the worst endings, because there are multiple ones, extra ones in the DS one. One or more, I don't know. It's something that's in the heart of so many JRPG players, and I can see why. I love the opening of it. I love the carnival. I love the little time machine and how you accidentally go through time and stuff like that. I love the balloons on the overworld map at the start. I love the music. Again, incredible soundtrack, because the best JRPGs have incredible soundtracks. It's just not a game that I played when it came out. It's something that I missed. I didn't have a SNES, you know, and on PS1 I never saw it being sold anyway. Maybe it didn't come out over here, just America and Japan, was it? I don't know. But I got the DS one. I loved my time through it, but it's just not something that I remember a lot of. I think I'll have to go back and play this as well. I keep saying this about so many RPGs, because God knows they're good enough to go back and play a second time, but God knows they're long enough to not be able to sometimes. So I do want to go back through it. I do. I really do. Maybe I'll go through with a guide and try and get the best ending. Sometimes you need a guide with RPGs. You don't want to miss out on something and then have to start the game again like tens of hours before. That's Chrono Trigger. Chrono Cross, I think, is pretty bad. I think the graphics, the art style, the cinematics, the music, all really good. I think the battle system is really bad. I think it's a huge step backwards from Chrono Triggers. And I don't like that Salt and Pepper, the boss, reoccurs about 50 times throughout the game. Not literally, don't get me wrong, it's about 5, okay? But I don't think the battle system's much good. I really don't. And I think Chrono Trigger is a million times better, and I think Chrono Cross is a game that I don't know if I could play again. It was good in some aspects, but not good at all in a lot of other aspects. That's going to be an unpopular opinion, because I know a lot of people like it. I do. So, yeah, no, might just be me again. Next up, we've got the Star Ocean series. This is a series I haven't played too much. I played the PSP remake of the first game, and I loved it to death. It was nice and short. It's sort of action-y battle system, but it still feels very classic. The music's stunning again. The art style, the graphics of the PSP version are really nice and smooth and shiny. What else can I say about it? It's sort of... yeah, it's... you stay on the same planet all the way through the game, pretty much. So it's not very Star Ocean-y. It's not very futuristic, like you would expect it to be for a game called Star Ocean. It's based on the universe and stuff, and sci-fi. Which is why I like it. I don't only like a lot of space stuff. I don't like Star Wars. I don't like Star Trek. I don't like the thought of space. I could never go into it just because it depresses me. The emptiness. The thought of the emptiness. Whenever I look at the night sky and see all the stars. First of all, I think it's really pretty. But then if I think about going up into the stars, oh, no, it's depressing. I really do get quite sad when I think about it. It's not something that's probably very rational or logical, but it does. But anyways, Star Ocean, regardless of all that, I really like Star Ocean 1. Star Ocean 2, I played a little bit through. It's like a town that gets hit by a tidal wave or something. That's as far as I go. I chose the bloke as my main character, because you can choose between the two. I chose the bloke as the fighter. I thought it would be easier to get through and see the story a bit quicker. But I didn't get all the way. I got distracted by another game and then just dropped it. So I'm going to be restarting now and playing through it again. Star Ocean 3 I've never played, but I've got it on the PS4 as the remaster. I'll be trying that. So Star Ocean 4 I tried, I didn't like. It was the save system. I didn't mind the characters. I didn't mind that they were like dolls, like a lot of people seem to hate. It was the save system. The saves are like hours and hours in between each other, and that's too much. Especially on the PS3 where there's no... I don't think there's a sleep system, is there, or anything like that, so how... No, I just can't do it. On the PS4 maybe I could. You could put your PS4 in rest mode and, you know, but no. And And I got Star Ocean 5 for a tenner the other day, or the other week. So I want to catch up with the series and then I'll play that. It's supposed to be pretty average, maybe slightly better than average, but I'll give it a go anyway. You know, that's Star Ocean feel. Nothing that I have too much experience with, but a series that I do want to get into a bit more. Yeah. Oh, right, okay. Oh, wait. We got Xenogears next. I'm going to be a bit negative about this one and people are going to hate me for it. Xenogears, I haven't got a physical copy, so I can't pick it up or anything. I had it on a PS3 store, PSN store. It's a mecha-based, turn-based PS1 JRPG. I don't like mecha. I found the story very dull, even though a lot of people say it's so involved, there's so much to it. I didn't think so. I thought it was very bland, and I'm sorry. And then you get to this. There's plenty of side quests. I like that element to it, but it felt like the battles were just there to add the genre-ness to it. I don't feel like there was any challenge to the battles at all. I feel like there was only the odd battle along the way that was sort of story-based, and when you were going through random encounters, you killed them off in one shot. It was nothing very special about the game. And then you got to the second disc, and it's just visual novel. It's just reading all the way through until you get to the final dungeon that's so overcomplicated and long, like a giant maze. You're there for so long, and when you got your turn-based, you get random encounters going on at the same time, and you're lost. I hate that sort of thing in JRPGs. A maze with turn-based. A maze with random encounters is the worst. A maze that takes hours to get through, I mean. Oh no. I didn't like Xenogears at all, and I know at least one person who hates my opinion on that, and I'd probably make more of them who hate it, but I can't get into it. I've thought about getting into, what's it called? Not Xenogears, but yeah, Xenosaga. I've thought about getting into that, but they haven't come out over here, and I haven't got any way of accessing them. The second game of the series came out, but what's the point if I haven't played the first game? I would try it. I don't like mecha, so God knows what I'd think of it. But maybe there'd be other aspects of the games that I like. I'd try them if they came to the PS4 store. Yeah. Anyway, next up, we have got the Bat and Katos games. I've only played the first one. I think there are 2 out there. This first game, very long. It's a JRPG, which is turn-based, but the interesting aspect, for GameCube by the way, the interesting aspect is that it's card-based. You play with cards. You collect cards when you beat enemies and you make your little deck and you go into battle doing that. It goes on a bit too long for its own good for me. I know it's a JRPG, but even still, it's not a game that... Yeah, 2 discs. Here we go. It's not a game I loved, but I did like the artistic style. I did like certain things about it. It's not a game I could go back and play because of its length, and I'm not very good when it comes to card games. I'm making decks, so I found it okay when I was little, when I played it. I didn't find it something that was amazing, just enough to get me through the game. I don't know what to say about it. Would I recommend it? Yeah, give it a go. It might be something, it's unique enough to be something that could really make you love it. It wasn't something that I loved, it was something that I liked a lot of parts of. I liked the character. He's this little kid that does masks and he uses a lot of spells. I liked him. Yeah, that's about all I can say about Bat and Katos. It wasn't enough to get me to go and buy the second game anyway, unfortunately. Oh yeah, that's a story. I remember this one time I was beating the game, the only time I was beating the game, and my mother was ironing downstairs. You can probably imagine what was coming. She blew the fuse with the iron and it turned off. I just beat the last boss and I was so gutted I didn't play it for months, and then months later I went back and beat the last boss again and it was sorted then, but I was so upset. I wasn't someone who would shout and everything at my mother for doing that because it wasn't her fault, but I was upset inside and oh yeah. Next up we have got the Wild Arms series. Now this again is quite mixed for me, and I think that's something that happens with RPGs. The first game I loved so much, so much. The music is like cowboy western, and it makes it so good to listen to. I loved the characters. I loved how you had the same 3 characters all the way through, and sometimes you had dungeons where the 3 had to split up and do puzzles on their own to let others get through and stuff like that. I loved it so much. But having said that, every boss feels the same, and all the monsters look like crap. They really do. But it's a game that's so much better than the sum of its parts. I feel like the music, the characters, there's so many good things going for it that overcome the bosses and the enemies, and I loved it. Having said that, I went on to Wild Arms 2 and beat that. I found it so boring. The story is so boring. I felt like Wild Arms 1 was better because it didn't have much story, and then Wild Arms 2 tried to add a story to make it better, and it was so dull. I couldn't get into it. But again, it was interesting in the sense that you had 3 characters all the way through. You could get more. Actually, there were more. You had your party, and they would split up. You'd have to use certain ones to use certain tools to get through certain puzzles. I do love that sort of thing in the games. But then Wild Arms 3 came along, and I played a couple of hours. About 10 hours actually. And it lost me a bit. I would like to go back to it. The remaster of Wild Arms 3 has come to PS4. But Wild Arms 1 is the only game that I've really enjoyed. I haven't tried 4 or 5, or the PSP one. So that's all I can say really. Wild Arms 1, amazing. Wild Arms 2 and 3, they lose it a bit for me. Next up, the Shadow Hearts series. I've only played the first 2 games. Shadow Hearts 1 I've made a Let's Play of not too long ago. It's like it's classic turn-based, but you have to have a bit of skill when using your moves, in that there's like a ring that goes round when you select your move, and you have to hit it in the right part of the ring. You have to press X in the right part of the ring for it to work properly, or at all. It's horror, JRPG, not something you see too much of. Very Japanese horror, as in you'll see shrines and you'll see old buildings that are like Japanese style. Sort of like Project Zero meets an RPG. That's how I think of it anyway, a little bit. Shadow Hearts 1 I love. I think it gets the horror perfectly. And I loved Alice and Yuri's, the 2 main characters' relationships. But then again to Shadow Hearts 2, and the characters are a lot better, a lot more interesting, a lot more unique. But it loses a bit of the horror. There's still horror in it, but it loses a bit. I haven't played any more than an hour's worth of the 3rd game. Only because I was playing the 3 games in a row and I lost I got burnt out a bit, I think. I do want to go back to that. Even if people are saying the 3rd game is the worst because it's so light-hearted, it's not horror anymore, apparently. I'll get back to it though. I want to try it. I don't mind losing that. So it's a good game. I don't mind there not being any horror there. I don't play them specifically for the horror elements. I play them because I enjoy myself doing it. Next up, we have got the Bravely Default series. Now this has Final Fantasy bases, as in if you play the 4 Heroes of Light on DS, that's Final Fantasy, then you'll see a few characters. You'll see one character, the Traveller, in Bravely Default and Bravely Second, and it feels very similar in that you have job roles like Final Fantasy V. It's like an evolution of that. But I think this is really good. Bravely Default, the first game, the first 3/4-ish is amazing. Like the music's amazing, the way you get classes, the way you can combine classes in turn-based battles, really fun, and I loved it so much. But the last quarter-ish, apart from the last boss, last quarter-ish, there's a common complaint with the game where you have to repeat the game over and over and over, or certain bits of it. You have to go through a couple of temples repeatedly. The enemies get a bit harder every time. It's a part of the story. It makes sense story-wise, but it's so tedious and so dull because you're not seeing any new locations. It's the same bosses, made a bit harder every time. You can turn random encounters off to get through it quicker, but then you're going to have a hard time with the bosses. So everything up to that point is really good, and the final bosses are really good, really interesting. Then you get onto Bravely Second. Sorry, that was probably loud with the mic, wasn't it? But you get onto Bravely Second. What's that going? Oh, there we go. And it's a sequel that perfects everything. It gets rid of that repetitive nature of the last quarter. It gives you more cinematic, more incredible music. They both got incredible music. And check out, go onto YouTube, as if you're not already on it, and check out the Baal boss battle theme. It's so good. You only hear it once or twice throughout the game, unfortunately, in Bravely Second. But it's so good. It's got like children singing in the background and it's very tense. Yeah, I really enjoy that song, those games. So good. And at the end of Bravely Second is heavily implied that this can be a third game as well, so I can't wait. I just cannot wait. I do think the dialogue can be a bit anime-esque in these games, in that a lot of filler, a lot of fluff. They talk about how hungry they are, they talk about nothing, you know? But that doesn't deter from it for me. You can have skip through that bit of meaningless dialogue and get to the good bits anyway if you wanted to. But, you know, I love the games so much. I am going to go back and play them sometime. And I keep saying that. Yeah, Bravely games, incredible. Try them. Try them. If you don't like them, then don't like them. But at least you tried and you've given something that you could enjoy so much a go. Yeah. Pokemon! Everyone knows Pokemon. You collect a little team of 6 Pokemon, or however many you want to. And you go around, defeat gym leaders, sorted. That's how most of them work. And then you go to the Elite Four at the end, the overall boss. And, yeah, sorted. I would... Is that a 4? No, okay. His Outer Form's probably crap. But this is my favourite Pokemon game. Pokemon Ruby. Better on this version, I think, than the remake that came out for... Was it DS or 3DS? I prefer the little tiny characters. Once I went to 3D, I got a bit lost with it. It lost me a bit. But I love Gardevoir, and this was introduced in this game. And then, I don't know, I got a bit tired of Pokemon from Black and White onwards, just because they are very similar. The games are very similar. Even Sun and Moon, that make so many changes, I wasn't that interested in by the end, because it turned out to just be Pokemon battle after Pokemon battle with some really generic storytelling. It wasn't something... It isn't a series that's kept my interest, and I don't think I'll be playing any more Pokemon games unless they make huge changes. I don't know what. I don't know what they have to do to get me back into it, but maybe if I give it like 5 years or something, I want to go back to it. I don't know. But Pokemon games, good fun, really fun, but they tired me out after a bit. I've been playing them since the first Red and Blue, and yeah, Red and Blue came out, so you know, it's been a long time of playing the same sort of game over and over, and that's just me. Good games, but it's just me getting burned out. That's all it is. Next up, we have got Mario and Luigi. In general, Superstar Saga is the best of the series to me. The first game. They don't get worse. But I think this was a big surprise to me. I'd never played a game like it. I have the game in here. I must have put them in. I got like a Game Boy game case thing, so it must be in there somewhere. But Mario and Luigi, it's Mario going humour. If you've played the SNES Mario game, what was it called? I can't remember. But the SNES one. Then you know what Mario and Luigi is going to be. You're Mario and Luigi. You haven't got a party though. You're Mario and Luigi, and you're going around, A is Mario, B is Luigi, and you have turn-based fights like that. You do more damage if you press A at the right moment, stomping on the enemy's head. You defend at the right moment, you take less damage. Or B, whichever character you're being hit by or using to attack. You have your super attacks, which they both get together. I think they're bro attacks or something. And they do a ton of damage to enemies, but you have to use, not MP, BP I think it's called, bro points. It's got so much humour. The villain is incredible. Her name is Fawful, as in awful, but really funny as well. She takes over people's bodies. She poisons people. She puts a poison toadstool on Princess Peach's face, and she's just really good. She's an alien, a good final boss, and such a good game. I can't remember how many games I've played of it. I've played Partners in Time, the second game for DS. I think I've played 1 or 2 more. and they are good. Yeah, so that's that. Really good humour, really good Nintendo humour. If you like that sort of thing, then, you know, you're sorted. Next up, coincides the Paper Mario games. Thousand Year Door, the best Mario game of all time to me. RPG Mario game of all time. Oh, there you go, SNES one, Super Mario RPG, I got it. But this one, Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door is the only good paper one to me. I feel like the modern ones have lost so much. They've turned away from the RPG elements and just gone for the sort of, I don't know, you kill enemies outside of RPG battles and stuff like that. This one has amazing range of characters, it's a huge game, great soundtrack, split into chapters, great locations, and very creative with the locations you go to. Like this one Colosseum, this one sort of, you know, Orient on the, you know, the Orient on the the express train where this murder's going on. It's a famous story, a famous book and film and everything. It plays on that a little bit in this game, where you're Detective Mario and you have to figure out who's dead and stuff like that. It's great, a great game that is just should be played by everyone. The only reason I don't play it more is because it's so long, and it's a game that once you play through once, you've been playing it for so long, you just don't want to go back to for a while. I think I will go back to it at some point. I will. I'd be disappointed in myself if I didn't, if I missed out on playing it again. But, you know, it's just huge and something you need to have a big break from after playing, I think. So, really good. This one's the good Paper Mario game. Oh yeah, there was a good one for N64 to Paper Mario. It's not as good as this. It's on the Wii store, if that helps. So, yeah, that's Paper Mario as a whole. I loved it. Something I didn't love quite so much. Vagrant Story. This is an RPG, but it strips away a lot of RPG elements. You go underground. You're this guy, goes underground, you're the only guy you control in the game. And it's all brown, grey and black. There's no colour to the game, which I don't like in games. And you're just exploring underground, sort of ruins of Ivalice from Fantasy 12 and Tactics. And it's just sort of ruins and stuff. You're trying to survive underground and trying to just muddle your way through. I don't like the location at all. It bores me. I don't like the music. I don't like the battle system, which is like sort of hack and slashy. But at the same time, you do have a weight-in bar, sort of like Fantasy 12, I guess. And you have to aim at certain enemy body parts to do more damage and stuff like that. So you have to experiment a bit to see what the weaknesses are. I couldn't get into it. I got about 5 hours into it, maybe not that far. And I know that's not long enough to judge an RPG, but I did see a bit more on YouTube and stuff. It's not for me. It's not a game I liked. I don't like Ivalice in general. I don't like it in Fantasy 12. It's bland. I don't like it in Fantasy Tactics. While I love that game, War of the Lions, the world is not what I like about it. It's generic swamp, generic grassland, generic... There's no creativity. Like, a lot of Final Fantasies have really interesting locations. The Final Fantasies in Ivalice don't have them. So, that's Vagrant Story for you. I didn't like it enough to play more. I did like this though. This is Skies of Arcadia. This is a mixed bag actually. I love the characters, I love the cheesy voice acting, I love some of the music, I love the cartoony graphics. I love the fact that you're exploring in the sky. That's what makes this game unique. It's like sailing around on an airship, and just the airship, and finding different locations, and it's really nice. Here's Vice, your sky pirate. He's got a couple of mates, especially one ginger-haired mate. It's not showing here, is it? No, not really. But it's fun. Turn-based, but with the difference that you can change the colour of your weapons to suit the different element, to hit different elemental weaknesses. You have to upgrade the different colours by using different weapons and stuff. It's a really good game that I should try. It did come on the PS3 store in America and Japan, I think, as PS2. The GameCube game is the best. The loading times and the slow battles are what drags it back a bit for me. It's It is very slow RPG, very slow. Like you'll choose an attack and they'll take forever just using a super move or whatever. And the airship battles are slow as hell. If it comes out as a remaster, which I hope it does, it needs to speed things up. That's all. It needs to have a fast forward function or something like that, and it'll be perfect then. I loved it otherwise. So that's Skies of Arcadia. Next up, the Tales series. This is very hit and miss, which is funny because every game is pretty much the same as every other game in the series once you reach modern day. Tales of Symphonia, I loved. I'm surprised they haven't been remastered for PS4, but there we go. Tales of Symphonia is my favourite Tales game. It's my first one I had for GameCube. I had it for Christmas one year, and I just ended up playing it all Christmas night and just being dead Boxing Day. Remember that? It's incredible. It's got some box pushing puzzles, which a lot of people don't like, but I don't mind, so long as they ain't overdone and too bad. But Tales of Symphonia 1, incredible. I love it. By far the best of the series. Tales of Symphonia 2, one of the worst in the series, but there we go. I couldn't get into that one. The rest of the Tales series, I liked Fantasia. I played the Game Boy Advance version, not the SNES version. Game Boy Advance version had a lot of lag. I swear I just heard someone outside. Hold on. I thought I heard someone in my house, and it was this building work going on next door. They're doing some building work. I thought there was someone in my house. Ah! But yeah, it's... what one? Oh, Tales. Tales of Fantasia. It's very 2D, little bitty characters back on the SNES, so you can imagine what it's like, I think. But the battle system is like... You have a 2D sort of battle arena. You can't go around 3D wise. You go left and right, and you attack enemies. You use some magic. Some characters have got bow and arrow. You can choose whether to be the healer and your AI controlling the others, or you can choose to be the bow and arrow guy. You can choose to be a sword fighter. And that was a good run. I enjoyed that quite a bit. I've also played Vesperia for 360. I remember loving it, but I can't remember much of it, and I don't have it for 360 now. I'll have to get it again, maybe. I remember Tales of Graces. I loved the child art. Once you got past that point, pardon me. Once you got past that point, it got very generic and bland. But I still liked the game enough. It's when you get to Xillia that it gets quite bad. You notice they're exactly the same games cropping up over and over. I haven't played any of the modern day ones after Xillia because they're just not as good anymore. They're not putting the effort in to be creative. I don't know. I'll get back to the series. I've heard that the latest one is actually good. If it's out yet, I don't know, I haven't followed it. But I'll get back to the series one day. One day. Until then, I'm not too bothered. I did play another one. Oh, Abyss. A lot of people seem to like Tales of Abyss for the 3DS. I find it... I didn't. I just didn't. It didn't click with me. There were some interesting enough characters. There were some interesting enough locations. It was just something that didn't click with me, and I don't know what. I don't think I got into it enough. But I'm not going to go back to it and try again. There's plenty of other games out there that I do actually like and want to play. So, yeah. Not one day. I have played another Tales of game, but I can't think which one it was. I think. I played a bit of Xillia too. It's alright. No, not fast. Anyways, next up is actually the last one. We've made it to the end. Bloody hell. Ninokuni. This is a game. The art style is stunning. The music is incredible. The characters are really nice, and you can collect little monsters to join your party to fight with you. I loved the opening. It reminded me of Earthbound so much. Oh, Earthbound's another game, but we haven't got time now. But Ninokuni, the opening was really good. It reminded me of an Earthbound town. And then you go into a magical world. I love Drippy because he's very Welsh. You know, relatable. And it was very much a Studio Ghibli feeling game, you know? So I loved it. I will say the AI of your characters in battle other than you are really bad. You can't really stop them from dying all the time. I'm hoping Ninokuni coming out, I think early next year. I'm hoping Ninokuni 2 will be a lot... dropping things. Will be a lot better in the AI department. That's all I want, to fix it up, and then it's a really good game. That's all I want. Better AI. Seems incredible otherwise. Reminded me of Dragon Quest as well. A Studio Ghibli Dragon Quest maybe. You know? Yeah. I suppose I could talk about Earthbound. I loved my other one on NES. It was the only NES game I can actually play and actually enjoy. Very creative, very funny. There's like you're fighting hobos and stuff. Very funny. But once you get to Earthbound on SNES, it feels like an upgraded version of it. Like a remake with a ton of upgrades and a lot of differences made. It's strange to say that, but that's how I feel about Earthbound. And Earthbound was brilliant. Bloody brilliant. You need a guide for some parts. I did. I did a blind let's play on my channel if you fancy it. I loved it so much. But my disappointing aspect, the next Mother game, I think is actually called Mother 3. It hasn't come out over here. I can't play it, and I've heard it's really good. I want to play it really badly, and I think, I don't know if Nintendo's actually said they're going to or not, but I really want to. It's classic turn-based, but done very differently, and good music. You have to try it. You just have to try it. Get past the first boss in the arcade, because I found that hard, and then you can level grind, and then you can have a better time with it, you know. Do it! Do it, do it! So that's it. That is it. I've got through so many RPGs, and I've missed a lot, I know, but I think they're all the ones I've played. I might have played one or two others. I think I have. I've played more than what I've shown, but these are the ones I've looked through my drawers, my game drawers, and they're the ones that I've got in my drawers. So I might have some on virtual consoles, I might have one that I've missed amongst my games, I don't know. But that's it. I hope you've enjoyed these two videos, these two game vlogs about JRPGs. I can't help but feel nostalgic whenever I play through them. Yeah, there was something else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, chuck it down in the comments if you want to say about your favourite RPGs, if you disagree with my opinions, if you think some of them are shit. Because nobody has the same environment growing up and opinions formed, so go for it. Chuck them down in the comments. Also, oh yeah, Let's Play wise, my next Let's Play after Danganronpa 2, if you're watching this while I upload, when I'm uploading, is going to be an RPG. It's going to be a classic JRPG, sort of, so yeah, I'm really excited to get started on it. I won't give any more clues for what the game's going to be, because I will probably give it away. This has been GreenyXI. I hope you've enjoyed the little JRPG chats we've had. Oh god. Thank you so much for watching and sticking with my channel. I'll see you again in a bit when we go for... well, we'll have another vlog tomorrow. God knows what it's going to be about, but I'll figure it out. Yeah. Back to my coffee. I think I'll go for some Dragon Quest 7 when I finish now. I finish editing. Thanks again for watching, folks. See you again in a bit.